A broke single father stopped to help a woman stuck in the rain, never imagining it would lead to anything. But the next morning, a private jet landed in his small town, sent just for him. What he discovered next left him speechless. Hi everyone, welcome to the Story Sphere. Today I am excited to share a new video with you. The cold, heavy rain hammered against the pavement. Noah Carter gritted his teeth, trying to shield his young daughter, Lily, from the downpour as he kneeled beside an old, rusted sedan on the side of the road. The car's tire had gone flat at the most inconvenient moment, in the middle of a storm, no less. Lily, barely 5 years old, tugged at her father's sleeve. "Move, Daddy! You're getting wet!" she exclaimed, her voice a mix of concern and impatience. Noah smiled, trying to reassure her. "It's okay, sweetie. We'll be done in a minute." The woman standing by the car was visibly shivering, her umbrella useless in the wind as it flipped inside out. She looked helpless, her jacket too thin for such a storm, and her frustration was evident. "You don't have to do this," she said, teeth chattering. "I can wait for roadside assistance, it's no trouble." But Noah wasn't about to leave her stranded. "No trouble at all," he said, his voice calm and steady despite the rain soaking through his clothes. "You just got caught in a bad storm, that's all. Don't worry about it." Noah worked quickly, using his experience from years of fixing cars in the past. He moved with practiced speed, changing the tire as Lily held onto his jacket tightly, shivering as much as the woman. Within minutes, the tire was replaced. "There you go," Noah said, standing up and wiping his hands on his jeans. "All set." The woman's face softened with relief, and her eyes glistened with gratitude. "Thank you so much. I don't even know how to repay you." Noah shrugged and gave her a humble smile. "No need. Just get home safe." As Noah turned to leave, hand in hand with Lily, he had no idea that this small, seemingly insignificant act of kindness was about to alter the course of his life in ways he couldn't even imagine. The next morning, Noah awoke early, as usual, to prepare breakfast for Lily before heading off to his construction job. Life had been hard since his wife left him, and things had only gotten worse from there. His work had dried up, and now, as a single father, every penny counted. Bills piled up, and the pressure was constant. Just as he was about to leave for work, he heard a strange sound outside, like a deep rumble, something almost unnatural for his quiet neighborhood. He glanced out the window and froze in disbelief. A private jet had landed in the open field near his small rental home. "What in the world?" he muttered under his breath. A sleek black car was parked at the edge of his driveway. A man, sharply dressed in a black suit, stood by the front door. His hands were tucked behind his back, an air of professionalism emanating from him. Noah cautiously opened the door. Can I help you?" The man nodded. "Mr. Carter?" Noah frowned, puzzled. "Yeah? Who are you?" The man stepped forward and handed Noah an envelope sealed with an elegant wax stamp. "Miss Evelyn Monroe requests your presence. The jet is ready for takeoff." Noah blinked. "Wait. Who?" "The woman you helped last night," the man explained. Noah stood there, confused. "She sent a jet for me?" The man gave a small, inscrutable smile. "Miss Monroe is a very private person, Mr. Carter. She insisted." Lily peeked around the door, eyes wide with curiosity. "Daddy, are we going on a plane?" Noah glanced down at her, unsure what to do. He had no means of turning down a request like this. A billionaire woman sending a jet was unheard of, but a part of him, the part that never seemed to get a break, wondered if this was his one shot to change everything. He looked back at the man. "All right, let's go." Noah and Lily were escorted into the private jet within minutes. As they stepped inside, Noah couldn't help but feel like he was out of his depth. The opulence of the jet was mind-boggling. Everything was polished, trimmed in gold, and the space felt almost surreal. It wasn't just a jet. It was a world unto itself. Lily, wide-eyed and grinning, immediately took to the plush seats, her small fingers running along the armrests. The flight attendant offered her juice in a crystal glass, and for the first time in a long while, Noah felt his stomach tighten. Not from worry, but from disbelief. This was not his world. Who is she? Noah muttered under his breath as the jet took off, the engines humming smoothly as they ascended into the cloudy skies. When the jet landed, they were whisked away to an estate so massive it looked like something out of a dream. The sprawling mansion overlooked the ocean, its grandeur impossible to describe. It wasn't just a home. It was a kingdom in its own right. Noah felt small as he walked through the marble halls of the estate, the sound of his footsteps muted against the floor. And then, at the end of the hall, he saw her, Evelyn Monroe. She was standing by a grand window, her back to him as she stared out at the ocean. Her presence was commanding, even in silence. She turned to face him, a smile curling at the corner of her lips. She was dressed in a tailored suit, her hair sleek and elegant. She looked like she belonged to another world. "Mr. Carter," she greeted, her voice smooth, controlled, and yet somehow warm. "Thank you for coming." Noah crossed his arms, still unsure about all of this. "I didn't think I had a choice." Her eyes locked onto his, unflinching. "You always have a choice, just like you had a choice last night to help a stranger in the rain. That's a rare quality these days." Noah raised an eyebrow. "You sent a jet just to say thanks?" Evelyn took a step forward, and with a gesture, she slid a folder across the desk toward him. "Number I sent a jet because I need your help." Noah hesitated, staring at the folder in front of him. He opened it, his eyes scanning the first page. When he saw the numbers, his pulse quickened. "You want me to manage a construction project? A multi-million-dollar one?" He looked up, still in disbelief. Evelyn nodded. "I did my research, Mr. Carter. You were one of the most respected site managers in your field before you left. Your reputation precedes you." Noah's stomach twisted. "Why me?" His voice was low, almost a whisper. "I haven't done anything like that in years." Evelyn's gaze softened for a moment and she leaned back in her chair. "Because you don't just fix things, Mr. Carter. You help people. And that's exactly who I need. Someone I can trust to build something important." Noah stared at her, his heart pounding. This wasn't just an opportunity. It was a second chance. Noah paced back and forth in the opulent office, a hand running through his hair. "This is crazy. I don't belong here," he muttered to himself. "I'm just a guy who fixes tires for a living. What could I possibly have to offer in this world?" Evelyn, still seated, regarded him quietly. "I know what it's like to lose everything. To feel like you're stuck with no way out. I've been there. But you didn't hesitate to help me. Let me help you in return." Noah paused, looking down at Lily as she played with a golden paperweight on the desk. She deserved better than this life. Better than struggling every day, always wondering how they were going to make ends meet. He looked at Evelyn, his resolve solidifying. "What's the catch?" Evelyn smiled slightly. "You work hard, that's all." Weeks passed. Noah threw himself into the project, proving himself to be a valuable asset. The project was massive, the scale beyond anything he had managed before. The stakes were high, and Noah was beginning to believe that maybe, just maybe, he had a place in this world. But then, disaster struck. An accident at the construction site threatened to halt everything. The board of investors, nervous about the safety of the site, turned against Evelyn. It looked like the entire project was on the verge of collapse. The money, the time, it was all slipping through their fingers. Noah knew that this was his moment. He called the investors together, using all his skill, his knowledge, and his ability to convince them to stay the course. He fought for Evelyn, for the project, for everything they had worked for. And when the project finally succeeded, Noah didn't just walk away as an employee. He was a partner, Evelyn's right hand. Standing on the balcony of his new office, Noah looked out at the horizon, his chest swelling with pride. He had come a long way from that cold, rainy night. Lily, laughing joyfully, was with Evelyn, who handed her a small toy. The bond they had formed in such a short time was undeniable. "You know," Evelyn said, stepping beside Noah, "the night in the rain, I thought I was just meeting a kind stranger, but I ended up meeting someone much more important." Noah chuckled, his gaze turning toward her. "And who's that?" She smiled, her eyes softening. "The man who saved me too." Noah looked out at the vast ocean, the life he had once only dreamed of now within his grasp, all because of a simple act of kindness in the rain.